The internet was taken by surprise when a song that had never been officially released or even hinted at suddenly surfaced late Tuesday night. There was no marketing effort, no announcements, and no streaming service involved, just a leak. However, this was not just any leak. It featured a collaboration between Kendrick Lamar and Kanye West, with a beat that seemed to have been tucked away in Madlib's archives for years. Fans were unsure of what to expect, but they were presented with two contrasting verses, one sharp and insightful, the other confusing. Welcome to Celebrity Cookies, where the tea is always hot and the stories come with sprinkles of surprise. Make sure to subscribe, leave a comment with your take on the story. The track, simply named Intro, first appeared on Reddit, shared by a user without any context or explanation, just the audio. Social media quickly took notice, and Hip Hop and More verified the leak's authenticity. Within hours, platforms like Twitter, Reddit, and TikTok were buzzing with excitement. Kendrick Lamar opens the song with the foresight of someone predicting looming chaos. One notable line was, "We approaching 2020, 20 to 20 vision is coming up out my hoodie." It felt eerie and almost surreal. While the track seemed to have been recorded long ago, Kendrick's delivery and awareness felt timeless and remarkably relevant, as if he had preserved a vision like a time capsule for this very moment. However, the tone shifted dramatically when Kanye's voice came in. Before we delve into Ye's verse, it's worth mentioning that this isn't their first collaboration. In 2016, Kendrick appeared on No More Parties in LA and nearly outshone Kanye, with even his most loyal fans acknowledging Kendrick's superiority on that track. That collaboration took place when Kanye was still viewed as sharp in the studio. In this newly leaked intro, the contrast between the two artists is stark. Kendrick's verse is intricate, contemplative, and incisive, while Kanye's comes across as disjointed, awkward, and, according to many online, unfinished. A Reddit user summed up the general feeling by saying, "It seems like Kendrick let a Make-A-Wish kid into the recording booth." Another fan added, "I burst out laughing when Ye's verse began. It felt like a joke." However, some fans defended Kanye, arguing that it sounded like one of his rough reference tracks, an unfinished idea rather than a refined verse. This perspective has some validity, as Kanye is known for recording mumble-style reference takes, experimenting with different flows before adding lyrics later. This method reportedly played a significant role in the creation of Much of My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, where collaborators helped transform Kanye's raw ideas into polished verses. Still, not everyone was understanding. One user on X remarked, "Even if it's a reference, why is it being shared like this? It's doing more harm than good to Ye's legacy right now." Let's be real, context matters. This leak didn't occur in a vacuum. It comes at a time when Kanye is embroiled in controversy, while Kendrick is enjoying a standout year in his career. Following Not Like Us and the Grand National Tour, Kendrick Lamar is at the height of his success, celebrated as a symbol of artistic integrity in hip-hop. In contrast, Kanye has spent the last few months engaged in online rants, legal issues, and public feuds. He's had disputes with Adidas, distanced himself from former friends, and most notably, has taken shots at Kendrick. Just a few months ago, Kanye openly expressed his support for Drake in the ongoing rivalry with Kendrick, downplaying Kendrick's impact and labeling Not Like Us as overrated. True to form, he redirected the attention back to himself. So when this leak surfaced, it felt particularly ironic. Here's Kanye, belittling Kendrick in 2024, while secretly holding on to years of unreleased collaborations with him. The contradiction was hard to ignore. Let's take a moment to delve deeper into this intriguing collaboration. In 2020, Madlib casually mentioned to Complex that Kendrick and Kanye had worked together extensively, not just in a single session or on a couple of tracks, but for over 30 minutes of music. He described it as a lyrical relay, with both artists effortlessly transitioning from one beat to another. His straightforward yet revealing comment was, "They were going off, too, man." Fast forward to 2024, and Consequence, Kanye's longtime collaborator, echoed this, telling Bootleg Kev that Kanye and Kendrick had enough material for an album. He mentioned that while the songs were raw, they were powerful, and the chemistry between the two was authentic. All they needed was some organization. Despite the anticipation, none of his music has been officially released. Not a single track or teaser, just rumors until now. So what's the reason for the secrecy? Some believe it stems from creative disagreements, while others think Kanye wanted to maintain full control over the narrative, and Kendrick, known for his perfectionism, wasn't willing to compromise. Their creative styles have always been different. Kendrick is methodical and message-driven, while Kanye is spontaneous and fueled by energy. Regardless of the cause, Intro feels like a long-lost treasure discovered at either an ideal or unfortunate time. The reactions to it are revealing. Kendrick's verse is being hailed as classic K-Duck, focused and prophetic, serving as a reminder that he has been ahead of the curve for years. Even with the minimalist beat, typical Madlib with sparse drums and vintage samples, Kendrick adapts, crafting vivid imagery that captivates listeners. It's the kind of verse that invites multiple listens to catch every subtle detail. In contrast, Ye's verse is receiving significant backlash, not only for its delivery, but also for what it represents. For many, this leak reflects the current states of both artists. Kendrick is sharp, polished, and at the peak of his creativity, while Kanye seems disjointed. Once hailed as a hip-hop visionary, he now struggles to express his thoughts clearly. This is disheartening for longtime fans. There was a time when the announcement of a Kanye-Kendrick album would have generated immense excitement. Back in 2016 or 2017, such news would have felt monumental. A collaboration album produced by Madlib featuring Ye and Kendrick would have been a hip-hop dream. However, that dream now feels shattered. The leak underscores what could have been, and what may never materialize. The musical chemistry is apparent. Even in its incomplete state, the potential is evident. Madlib's soulful loops, Kendrick's precise lyrics, and Kanye's innovative spirit are all present. Yet, somewhere along the line, the project fell apart. Some fans still hold out hope that this leak might spark renewed interest or inspire Ye and Kendrick to revisit their sessions and create something official. However, with both artists heading in vastly different personal, political, and creative directions, this seems increasingly unlikely. One thing is certain, Kendrick Lamar has raised his game. Regardless of personal opinions about him, his current moment is undeniable. He has redefined what it means to be a hip-hop artist in 2025, engaging with pop culture, mainstream rap, and the establishment, all while selling out stadiums worldwide. This leak only enhances his legacy, as he effortlessly delivers profound lines from a verse recorded years ago, overshadowing one of the industry's greatest. Conversely, Kanye, who once shaped the sound of an entire generation, is now being ridiculed for appearing like a caricature of himself. This is the real tragedy, as hidden within that verse could be a brilliant idea or a moment of genius, overshadowed by unfinished thoughts and poor execution. This is the essence of leaks. They expose the unfiltered truth, raw, unedited, and free from any public relations gloss. They simply showcase the music and what it truly reveals about an artist's current state. This particular leak disclosed a lot of information. It showed that Kanye still has music with Kendrick that isn't being released for a specific reason. It suggested that Kendrick's writing skills remain sharp and emphasized the significance of timing. Had this been released in 2016, both verses would have been celebrated, with fans dissecting every line from Ye and interpreting every metaphor from Kendrick. However, by 2025, the context has changed. Expectations have increased, and when those expectations aren't met, audiences voice their opinions. So what comes next? Will this leak be an isolated incident, or could it indicate the potential release of more unreleased tracks from those infamous sessions? Will Kanye respond to the criticism, or will he remain silent while discussions about his verse unfold online? And will Kendrick, known for his perfectionism, even acknowledge this leak? No one knows the answers. For now, Intro serves as a fascinating glimpse into what could have been one of the greatest rap collaborations of the decade, and perhaps still could be if they manage to creatively align again. We want to hear your thoughts. Is Ye receiving unfair criticism? Is the verse just a rough draft that should never have been leaked? Or does this leak show that Kendrick Lamar has now surpassed Kanye West in both lyrical and creative realms? One thing is clear, the conversation has become much more intriguing, and this could just be the beginning. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this situation, so please share your opinions in the comments. Also, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications to stay updated on the story.